Hi, welcome back everyone. I hope you are doing fine. So last time we saw how to clone the repository to your local environment, right? So we had created a repository on the GitHub and then we cloned that repository to our local environment. But what about the other scenario when you have been working on some local project and now you want to push that onto the to the remote repository like on GitHub or GitLab. That is one thing that we will look at today. And second thing is, along with that, we will also learn our first basic commands which are used in the GitHub or Git. So let's get started. Here what I'm trying to do is I'm on my file explorer. For the sake of explaining, I'll create a new folder. Let's call it as Git project. Okay. And inside that I will mock up few files, like I will create a text file. One, I'll say this as two. So these are nothing but the files that I have worked on. Now what I want to do is I'll also write something in it. Now what you want to do, this is your project and you want to push it onto the remote repository. So I'll go to my GitHub. Here I'll say new. I'll create a new repository like how we created it last time. So I'll say, what was the name of our local? Name won't matter, it's just that I'm matching the name. So you can name anything, that won't cause an issue. Rest everything I'll keep it as it is, and I'll quickly say create repository. Okay, right after creating one, if you scroll down a little bit, you will see that there are few guidelines that I've given to either create a repository on the command line or to push an existing repository on the from the command line. So as I explained earlier, we will go with this one, create a new repository on the command line. So to do that, what has to be done, I'll show you. Open the command line argument. Here if you type anything like git command, it won't recognize yet. Why? Because this is not git repository yet. To make this one git repository, first command that we will have to hit is git init. Okay, so now with git init, we are telling that this folder that I have entered the command is, please consider it as a git project or git repository. Now after that, git add readme.md. So this is nothing but the another basic command wherein you want to tell the git that please add these files which are mentioned in the next word to your staging environment. So staging environment, local environment, remote environment, I'll explain everything to you in upcoming lectures. But right now I'll just explain what steps we are taking to push your local code to the remote repository. So right now what I'll do is git add. Now there are two ways that I can add the files. First is I can write the name of these two, or I can simply enter dot. so that whatever there are uh, files which are created or which are edited will be added. So instead of writing the name, I'll say dot, I'll hit enter. Now the next thing is git commit and your commit message. So the meaning of this command is we are committing this to the staging environment or staging area, from where after hitting git push we will push it or we will clone it to the remote environment. So I'll tell you in a bit. So I'll say my first commit. This is the git command, that is nothing but git commit. This is the dash m, that is dash m stands for dash message. This is called as flags. So usually we write it after the git commands, and after the flag we are giving one message. So I'll say my first commit, enter. Now I'll explain you in a simple language that these two text files are ready to be shipped. Next command that goes is git branch m. So here what we are doing is we are, if I don't hit this command and I'll enter git branch, so right now it will tell me that on which branch I am. So if I say git branch, it will tell me like master. Yeah. So git branch tells you on which branch you are, and the this command is switching from master to main. So I'll switch it from master to main. Now again if I hit git branch, in that it will highlight me main branch instead of master. Right, earlier we were on the master branch and now we are on the main branch. So up until now we have switched to the main branch. Now the next thing is, now we are telling the local project that please map all the files which are located over here to this position, http slash blah 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 username and the project name dot git. I'll say cls to clear the screen, and I'll say git remote add origin. Now we have instructed it that this is going to be cloned at that particular location, and the next and the final command that I have to run is git push dash u origin main. So this is the final step to push all the files onto the remote. So before pushing, I'll just refresh this. You will not see any files unless I hit that command. So here we are still seeing the instructions. Okay. Now after that, when I say git push dash u origin and main, we are telling that whatever changes we have, please push them on to origin and on this branch. Okay. And when I say enter, this has pushed my code onto the remote. Let's see if it is reflecting on remote. There you go. So we made one commit just now, and in that commit we have pushed two files, that is one.txt, two.txt, and this was the message we had written, my first commit. Yeah. So we have seen two ways to clone the repository. First is you create everything on the remote server and you clone it to your local environment. The second thing is you push your existing code on a newly created repository. In the upcoming videos, we will start looking into the basic Git commands and then we will proceed ahead. Thank you, everyone.